Okay, so today in math, we are starting lesson 14. Okay, so go ahead and take out your MIB. We're going to do this a lot like the way we did it. A couple of the distance one where I will talk about it, I'll pause, and you can pause, write your answer down, and then unpause to get the correct answer. So go ahead and take out your MIB and open it up to page 176. Okay, this is about comparing fractions, okay, using models. Okay, comparing fractions using models. At the end of this, I'm going to tell you what IXLs to do. I'm going to move myself up here because I keep kind of looking down thinking that's where the camera is. But some of the IXLs, you'll compare fractions using models. Others, you're going to compare using number lines. You guys will be fine, okay? If you need to draw, when you get to that, if you need to draw a fraction or a model to compare, just draw a model. Okay, so Adriana and June have granola bars that are the same size. Adriana ate 2/4 of her granola bar. June ate 2/5 of her granola bar. Which girl ate more of her granola bar? So the granola bars are the same length. You divide them into equal groups. Adriana, 2 out of 4. June, 2 out of 5. Okay. So how many equal pieces of granola bar did Adriana eat? Adriana's right here. No. I'm doing this on the desktop, so the handwriting's going to be off. So how many pieces of granola bar did Adriana eat? 2. How many did June eat? 2. They both ate 2 pieces of their granola bars. They were different sizes, though. That's the important thing to remember. They are different sizes. So since both girls ate the same number of pieces, what can you look at to find out who ate more granola bar? Well, you would look at the size of the pieces, okay? I'm just going to put size because this is my pencil, my mouse, so it makes it a little tricky. But we have size of the pieces, okay? Size of each piece. That's what you have to look at to figure out who ate more, I should say. So what does the size of the denominator tell you about the size of the granola bar? So take a second and think about that. If you take the same amount of things and divide it into more pieces, what happens to the size of the piece? It gets smaller or larger the more you divide it up. Take a minute and think. Or pause it. Okay, I'm not going to write this down because as you see, I do not have my pen. This is my desktop. But the bigger the denominator, remember denominator to the bottom number, the bigger the denominator, the smaller the pieces. Okay, bigger the denominator, smaller the pieces. All right. So who ate more? Explain why. Well, using the model, you can tell that Adriana ate more. She ate 2 of the 4. I know that because Adriana divided her granola bar into 4 pieces, where June divided into 5 pieces. The more you divide it up, the smaller it gets. So 5 pieces means the pieces are smaller than the 4 pieces. So Adriana ate more. Okay, so that's 176. Excuse me. Hopefully when I see you again, I won't be talking like this. Next, let's go to, here we go. Just gonna make it bigger. Now we're on 177. Okay. Deciding who ate more of the granola bar means comparing the fractions 2/4 and 2/5. To compare fractions, you must use the same size whole. Okay, that's the big thing. It had to be the same size whole. If I was comparing people in here and I was cutting people in half like I did the one time, what's bigger, half of Finley or half of Nick? They're both half, but obviously Nick's taller than Finley. So Nick half would be taller than than a Finley half. So you have to start out the same size to compare them. So granola bars are the same size. 2/4 is greater than 2/5. 2/5 is less than 2/4. You read these signs going left to right, like you're reading, just like you're reading words. So if I'm reading this left to right and I come to the opening, it means it's going to be greater than. If I'm reading and it comes to the point first, it's going to be less than. Okay. If the granola bars were not the same size, you could not compare the fraction because nobody knows. Look at that. You have no clue. Obviously, 2/4 is bigger than 2/5. Look how wide and fat the fifth one is. If they are not equal size, you cannot compare them. Okay. You could also use common denominators. Okay. This is how you will eventually do all your comparing fractions. If you can use models, great. But when you get in 5th grade and beyond, you're going to use common denominators. All right. So remember, wax on, wax off. Okay. So if I multiply both fractions by the other one's denominator, so if I take 2/5 and I multiply top and bottom times 4, I get 8/20. If I take 2/4, multiply top and bottom by 5, I get 10/20. Okay. Now 20 and 20. What's bigger? 10. Now look at our numerator. What's bigger? 10. And I switched to that. Okay. What's bigger? 10 or 8? Obviously, 10 is bigger. When you're going to the numerator, if the denominators are equal, you treat the numerators just like they're regular whole numbers. Okay. And the 10 is bigger. So you know that 8/20 is less than 10/20. So 2/5 is less than 2/4. So you can do it either by doing a model or by finding common denominators. So go ahead and do the reflection. Pause me, do the reflection. Okay, how I would do this and how I would recommend do it. If you look at the denominators, find the lower number. So in this instance, 5. Can I multiply 5 by anything to get 10? Yes, hopefully you said 2. 5 times 2 is 10. So wax on, wax off, whatever you do the top, you do the bottom. So if I multiply 2/5 top and bottom by 2, I get 4/10. Now I'm comparing 4/10 to 3/10. Which one's bigger? 4/10. Okay. So 2/5 is greater than 3/10. Okay. So if you have any questions, you may go ahead and rewind it. All right. What I want you to do, and I'm going to write this on your math page. I'd like for you to do math practice and problem solving 183, 184, and do it in your own book. Okay. So distant people, do not send it to me. We're going to check it over together on Thursday. Okay. Hopefully I'm back on Thursday. Then also, once you're done with 183, 184, I want you to do IXL 4th grade math 012, 013, 014. Okay. 012, 013, 014. Go ahead and do that. It is for a grade. So get to 90%. If you get to 90%, it's 100%. Okay. All right. So you guys, if you have questions, email me. I'll have my email open at home and I can email you back. All right. So math practice and problem solving 183, 184, and 012, 013, 014 in IXL. All right.